Well, thank you very much, and that was a great honor. I appreciate it very much, Mr. President. Mr. General, Mr. President, great General, great President, thank you very much. This is the day that people across the region and around the world have been working, striving, hoping, and praying for. They have done things over the last month that I think were really unthinkable. Nobody thought this could happen. With the historic agreement we've just signed, those prayers of millions have finally been answered. As you know, the hostages have been returned, and further work goes on having to do with the, sadly to say, bodies. Together we've achieved what everybody said was impossible. At long last, we have peace in the Middle East, and it's a very simple expression, peace in the Middle East, and we've heard it for many years, but nobody thought it could ever get there, and now we're there. I want to congratulate everybody sitting in these first few rows and standing behind me. I don't know why they chose to stand, but I promise I'll make it short, okay? We are not going to keep you standing for long. These are great leaders. After years of suffering and bloodshed, the war in Gaza is over. Humanitarian aid is now pouring in, including hundreds of truckloads of food and medical equipment and other supplies, much of it paid for by people in this room. Civilians are returning to their homes. The hostages are reuniting. I mean, it's beautiful. I'm just watching it backstage. The level of love and sorrow, I've never seen anything like it. It's amazing when you see they haven't seen their mother, their father. They haven't seen them in such a long time, and they lived in a tunnel, a very little tunnel, very deep, and the level of love is just incredible. It's a beautiful thing to see. It's, in one sense, it's so horrible that it could have taken place, but in another sense, it's so beautiful to see. A new and beautiful day is rising, and now the rebuilding begins. The rebuilding is maybe going to be the easiest part. I think we've done a lot of the hardest part, because the rest comes together. We all know how to rebuild, and we know how to build better than anybody in the world. I want to express my tremendous gratitude to the Arab and Muslim nations who helped make this incredible breakthrough possible. And you really did. To President El-Sisi of Egypt, who is so generously hosting us today. And I want to thank you for the outstanding job your country is doing in so many different ways, and for helping us so much with this peace agreement. I also want to thank the President for the escort of 6 fighter jets. So we looked out the window, we said, I hope they're friendly, and they turned out to be very friendly. But we had 3 on each side, and they are beauties right out of the great, really American manufacturing hub. We make the greatest military equipment in the world. We have the strongest military in the world by far. And I knew exactly what those planes were, and I knew exactly how much you paid for those planes, too. You paid a lot, but you got a pretty good deal. And they are great planes, and we just appreciate it. That was quite an escort in. That was very impressive. But Air Force One was really, it was covered with Egyptian desert just a few months ago. If you think about it, just a few months ago it was Egyptian desert, and now it was just a few feet off our window. And it was a spectacular sight, and I appreciate it very much. Really, that was pretty good. You got our people by surprise. I don't know if they were thrilled right at the beginning, but they were thrilled as we sailed along very, very calmly and safely. And I'm deeply honored to receive from you, Egypt's highest state honor, the Order of the Nile. The Nile is so beautiful, so magnificent. It's such a beautiful title, the Order of the Nile. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Appreciate it. Great honor. I also want to give a very special thanks to the Emir of Qatar, a man who's outstanding. He's been a friend of mine for a long time, long before politics, and he's a fantastically respected man. His Highness Sheikh Tamim is respected by everybody. He's respected by everybody, and in the most positive way, not only because of power, because of his heart. He's got a tremendous heart. And he's a great leader, and his country loves him. Thank you very much for being here. It's an honor. Let me also express our condolences to the Qataris on the tragic car crash that claimed the lives of your cherished diplomats, some of whom were known by our people, and they were supposed to be incredible people. So please extend our sorrow and best wishes. That was tough. That was really tough. On this extraordinary occasion, I also want to give our sincere thanks to President Erdogan of Turkey. He's always there when I need him. He's such a tough guy. He is tough as you can be, but we love him. And when they have a problem with you, they always call me to handle it. And usually I come through. We just have a good relationship, but we have from the beginning. And so I want to thank you very much and say hello to your wife, your beautiful wife. And it's great to be with you. Always there. When I need him, he's always there. Thank you very much, Mr. President. And I also want to thank, I just spoke to him on the phone, His Royal Highness Crown Prince Mohammed, Saudi Arabia, special friend of mine. Boy, he's come so long and so far, and he's doing a fantastic job for his country. And I want to just thank him. And, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed of the United Arab Emirates is here. Where? He's here someplace. Well, he's not here, but he's here in spirit, I can tell you that. And he's been another one. He's been absolutely incredible, and we appreciate it very much. And His Majesty King Abdullah of Jordan, and thank you very much, King Abdul of Jordan. He's here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. And you really have been a great helper. We appreciate it. Appreciate it. Prime Minister Sharif of Pakistan, and also I have to say my favorite field marshal from Pakistan, who's not here, but the Prime Minister is here, and you're going to give his regards. Where are you? There you go. Thank you very much. Do you want to say what you said to me the other day? Come, would you like to say what you said the other day? I think it was so nice. Please.
Thank you very much, my dear President Trump, my dear brother President Fatil Sisi of Egypt, Majesties, Highnesses, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum, and a very good evening. Well, I would say today is one of the greatest days in contemporary history, because peace has been achieved after untiring efforts led by President Trump, who is genuinely a man of peace, who has relentlessly and untiringly worked throughout these months, day in and day out, to make this world a place to live with peace and prosperity. I would say that Pakistan had nominated President Donald Trump for Nobel Peace Prize for his outstanding, extraordinary contributions to first stop war between India and Pakistan, and then achieve ceasefire along with his very wonderful team. And today, again, I would like to nominate this great president for Nobel Peace Prize, because I genuinely feel that he is the most genuine and most wonderful candidate for Peace Prize, because he has brought not only peace in South Asia, saved millions of people, their lives. And today, here in Sharm el-Sheikh, achieving peace in Gaza is saving millions of lives in the Middle East. Mr. President, I would like to salute you for your exemplary leadership visionary leadership. And I think that you're the man this world needed most at this point in time. World would always remember you as a man who did everything, went out of the way to stop 7 and today 8 wars. I would like to thank my very dear brother, Sheikh Tamim. He's Akh al-Shaqiq, who has really worked very hard along with others to achieve peace in this region. My very dear brother, President Tayyip Erdogan, His Majesty, King Abdullah, and of course my very dear brother, Mohammed bin Zayed of UAE, and of course my very dear brother, Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. And he has also been very, very helpful and contributed very valuably in this wonderful peace process. Ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't want to take more of your time. Suffice it to say, had it not been for this gentleman, not only, who knows, India and Pakistan are both nuclear powers. Had he not intervened along with his wonderful team, during those 4 days, the war could have escalated to a level. Who would have lived to tell what happened? And similarly, here in this part of the world, in the Middle East, Mr. President, your valuable contribution along with President Sisi, I think history will remember in golden words. I wouldn't say more except God bless you, God give you long life to serve like this for all time to come. Thank you very much. Very kind.
Thank you. Wow, I didn't expect that. Let's go home. There's nothing more I have to say. Goodbye, everybody. That was really beautiful and beautifully delivered. Wow, thank you very much. Also with us is President Prabowo, a very incredible man, of Indonesia. President, come in. Great job. President Abbas of the Palestinian Authority. See, we have them all. We have them all. Great, great. Good to have you. And so many others. I have a list here. This first 3 rows and what's standing behind me, I don't know why they chose to stand, but it's there. They're going to be very famous tomorrow, all of them. We have the Arab League is represented by His Excellency, and thank you very much for being here. Thank you very much. We have Armenia, and Azerbaijan. That's a little war that we stopped. That's a little war. There they are. Look at them. They're sitting. When I met with them, it was in the Oval Office. They fought for like 31 years or some crazy number. And they had one sitting on that side of the Oval Office, one sitting. By the time we finished in 1 hour, they were both hugging each other. And now they're friends and they're getting along great. Look at it. So I want to thank you both. That's incredible. Really incredible. So you have Armenia and you have Bahrain, you have Canada. It's so great to have, in fact, the president called and he wanted to know if it's worthwhile. He knew exactly what it was. He knew the importance. Where's Canada, by the way? Where are you? Where are you? He knew the importance of this. He said, I want to be there. So many people have done that. They called. I mean, they heard about it. And these are not people that can do that very easily. They have pretty big schedules, to put it mild. The most powerful people. And I appreciate you being here very much, Mr. President. Fantastic. Fantastic. And Cyprus, Egypt, the European Union, it's a lot of countries. France, thank you very much, Emmanuel. I would imagine Emmanuel standing someplace behind me. Where is he? I can't believe it. You're taking a low-key approach today. He's my friend. That's great. Good job. Thank you very much, Emmanuel. Germany, the new Chancellor of Germany he's easy to spot because he's very tall and he's very smart and he's doing a fantastic job for his country. Appreciate it very much. And congratulations, a big election. That was a big one. That was going to change things. Greece, we have Greece. We have Hungary. Oh, Victor, where is Victor? Victor. We love Victor. Victor, I call him. You know, I put the little accent on it. You are fantastic, all right? I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but I'm the only one that matters. You are fantastic. He's a great leader. I endorsed him the last election he had, and he won by 28 points. So you're going to do even better this time. If you have another election, and you're going to do great, and we appreciate it, and we're behind you 100%. That's Hungary. India is a great country with a very good friend of mine at the top, and he's just done a fantastic job. And I think that Pakistan and India are going to live very nicely together, right? That's not a very, they are. And they're two great, I tell you, leaders, great leaders as far as I'm concerned. Indonesia, we covered, and I just want to say that that's a big country, a powerful country. It does unbelievably well, and it's great to have you. Iraq, we have Iraq with lots of oil. They have so much oil, they don't know what to do with it. That's a big problem when you have so much, you have no idea what to do with it. So thank you very much thank you very much. Italy, we have a young woman who's, I'm not allowed to say it because usually it's the end of your political career if you say it. She's a beautiful young woman. Now, if you use the word beautiful in the United States about a woman, that's the end of your political career, but I'll take my chances. Where is she? There she is. You don't mind being called beautiful, right? Because you are. Thank you very much for coming. We appreciate it. She wanted to be here, and she's incredible, and they really respect her in Italy. She's a very successful politician. We have Norway. Oh, Norway. Norway. What happened, Norway? What happened? Where's Norway? Where is he? We have Johnny. We're going to the World Cup. I can tell you that. Where's Norway? I don't think he wants to stand. Oh, he's back there. Well, we have Norway. Oman. Again, we have Paraguay. We have really fantastic representative from Saudi Arabia. Thank you very much. I'll tell you what, and this time we'll get you the best seat. He always gets the best seat. He deserves the best seat. But what a great place it is. Spain. Where's Spain? Are you guys working on him with respect to the GDP? We'll get close. We'll get close. But fantastic job you're doing. And UAE, which is great. United Kingdom. Where's United Kingdom? Where's our friend? Where? Come here. Is everything going good? Very good. That's very nice that you're here. These people all came in like 20-minute notice. And I think it's fantastic. And we have so many others, and just so many others. And it's such a compliment to what we're doing, because what we've done is something very unique and very special. So it's perhaps the wealthiest and most powerful group of nations ever assembled at one time, which is a big thing. We have achieved together in recent days a change that really is historic, and it's going to be remembered forever. And I want to thank the American team for their amazing work, and I want to thank, I think he'll go down as the greatest Secretary of State in the history of our country. I really believe that, Marco, or I wouldn't say it. Marco Rubio, I wouldn't say it. Maybe I would. You're doing a great job. I'll tell you, he's on course to do it. We've done a lot of work in 9 months. We've done a lot of work. I say that, 1 year ago, a little more, but 1 year ago, America, the United States of America was was a dead country. The king told me, and I use that, he said, sir, 1 year ago it was a dead country. Today you have the hottest country anywhere in the world, and it is. It's the hottest country. So many investors are here. We have over $17 trillion being invested the United States, which is a record that nobody has ever beaten. I don't think anybody will. And we still have 4 months to go before it's a year. So in 8 months, we have over 17 trillion. We're actually very close to $18 trillion. There's never been, as an example, the previous administration had less than $1 trillion over 4 years. We have, we're close to breaking $18 trillion in 8 months. That's pretty amazing. No country's ever done that. I want to also thank Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and my son-in-law and a great guy, Jared Kushner. And I even have my daughter here, Ivanka. Ivanka, please stand up. Ivanka's here. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Ivanka. We have a great team, and we have, as you know, General Raisin Kane. We have John Radcliffe. We have Tom Barrack. We have really a lot of good talent. We have Pete Hegseth, who's now Department of War as opposed to Department of Defense. We made a little change. Somehow I like the name better, so do you, so do a lot of people. But the momentous breakthrough that we're here to celebrate tonight is more than the end of the war in Gaza. It's with God's help, it'll be the new beginning for an entire beautiful Middle East. From this moment forward, we can build a region that's strong and stable and prosperous and united in rejecting the path of terror once and for all. We want to get rid of the terror and get on to other things. There are many other things in life that are so good. The final sprint to this deal began less than 3 weeks ago on the sidelines of the United Nations in New York. I met with many of the people in this room, and it all just started coming together. I've known so many of you for so long. You're friends of mine. You're great people. I have a couple I don't like in particular, but I won't tell you who. I have actually a few of them I don't like at all. But you'll never find out who they are. Well, maybe you will, come to think of it. But I have most of you who I like a lot, and I respect a lot. Maybe that's more important. We listened, and we exchanged ideas, and we kept pushing forward until the job was done. And the first steps to peace are always the hardest. And today we've taken them, and we've put them all together, and we've come up with this beautiful mix like nobody thought was possible. And as you know, I've just come from Israel. It was an amazing day to watch the hostages come in and to watch all of the other things and do all of the other things that we did. And like all of us here this evening, the Israeli people are overjoyed that the war has ended. Many of you have had dancing in the streets. They had dancing in the streets. And they've been dancing for weeks now once they heard about this and they heard that it was even a possibility. They're elated at the arrival of the hostages and excited to begin this new chapter for the entire region, and it's going to be that, and they are going to be great partners, and I hope everybody's going to join the Abraham Accord. I like to say the Avraham. I love Avraham, but somehow it doesn't sound as good when I say it as it does when some of my other friends say it who are from the region. But we're going to get a lot of people joining the Abraham Accords. We have the 4 great nations that did it early on, and they stayed with it. And then you had the Biden administration, which is the worst administration in the history of our country. And obviously, they did nothing on that and anything else. And so it stayed at 4. And now a lot of people, even today, they're talking about all joining up. So many people have talked to me about that. And it's going to be a great tribute to really the United States. I mean, the United States has worked very hard in the Middle East, so it would be a tribute to us and to Jared and to Steve and to all of the people, Marco, all of the people that have worked so hard on that. And it really is going to bring, it's going to guarantee that it all stays together. You're going to do well, because the 4 nations do very well. I mean, they do extremely, as they're wealthy, but they're a lot wealthier because of it. So I hope everybody's now joining up. Now we have no excuses. We don't have a Gaza, and we don't have an Iran as an excuse. That was a good excuse, but we don't have that anymore. All the momentum now is toward a great, glorious, and lasting peace. And our commitment to fulfilling the 20-point plan we developed together will be the crucial foundation for achieving that bright future. And it's being worked on right now as we speak. And we're actually in stage 3 and 4. It's not going to be, just divided down so simply. We can be long advanced on some of the things that we say we're going to do. We can take them out of order in a positive way. And we've shown how it can be done with responsible nations like the people in this room, these incredible people in this room, setting aside their differences, seeking common ground, and pursuing a better world for all of us. In that spirit, it's my dream that we all get together and enjoy our life. And we're going to put some of you on the Board of Peace. Everybody wants to be on the Board of Peace. They said, would you be the chairman? I say, I'm pretty busy too. But whatever we can do to have peace in the Middle East, it's worth it. But everybody wants to go on the Board of Peace, so we're probably going to enlarge it. We're going to get, and the leaders, the top people, the top leaders, they want to be on the Board of Peace. A beautiful term. At first I wasn't sure, and then I realized how beautiful it is. And for the people of Gaza, the focus now must be on restoring the basics of a good life. We're going to have a lot of money coming into Gaza and a lot of rebuilding and building. It's not so much rebuilding, it's really building, cleaning up and building. And I'm pleased to announce that numerous countries of great wealth and power and dignity have come forward to me and just today and over the last week to say they want to help in the reconstruction of Gaza, putting up whatever money is necessary. And the money is, of course, it's a lot of money, but it's not much compared to the value or the wealth of these tremendous countries, and they are ensuring stability and success in the Middle East. So when you think about it, it's a very, very small amount of money is necessary, relatively speaking. And as those commitments are made, I'm going to let the world know who is doing it, because they really deserve great credit for doing it, and they're going to do something that's really monumental. This is a monumental day. This is a monumental moment in the history of the world beyond the Middle East. We've all agreed that supporting Gaza must be done to lift up the people themselves, but we don't want to fund anything having to do with bloodshed, hatred, or terror, as has happened in the past. And for the same reason, we're also agreed that Gaza's reconstruction requires that it be demilitarized and that a new, honest civilian police force must be allowed to create a safe condition for the people in Gaza. As I said earlier, I intend to be a partner in securing a better future. We're going to be working, you're going to be working with the United States, and we're going to make sure that the Middle East is going to be a safe and secure place. It's a very important place in the world, means so much. There were so many people who said the Middle East, and this has been going for many, many decades. I've read it many times, that World War III will begin in the Middle East. It's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. There was a time that you would have thought it could have, but it's not going to happen. There won't be World War III, hopefully at all, but it's not going to start in the Middle East. We're not going to have a World War III if we're smart. There'll never be a World War III. Our work begins right here and right now. From ancient times, this region has been extraordinarily mixed with respect to people, culture, religions, all of the different elements of national characters, unlike maybe anywhere else on earth. And for 3,000 years, there's been conflict. For whatever reason, there's been tremendous conflict, always conflict. But today, for the first time anyone can remember, we have a once-in-a-lifetime chance to put the old feuds and bitter hatreds behind us. And that's why so many people in this room, they didn't get along. Some did, some didn't, but they're getting along now. This has brought the people together. This is the first time the Middle East crisis has brought people together as opposed to driving them apart. And to declare that our future will not be ruled by the fights of the generations past, which is foolish. So together, let us continue in the spirit of cooperation and goodwill that has finally brought us to this incredible, historic breakthrough. If we do together, we will reach the Middle East's incredible destiny, a safe and prosperous and beautiful crossroads of culture and commerce, faith in humanity and geographic center. This will be the geographic center of the world. So I just want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank you all for what you've done and for this quick notice. It all came together just at one little period. It just came together. It's, the greatest deals happen that way. If you do anything about deals, that's all I've done all my life is deals. The greatest deals just sort of happen. And that's what happened right here. And maybe this is going to be the greatest deal of them all, not just nation building, not just having to do with this or the political whims. This will be maybe the greatest deal of them all, period. And I want to thank all of you and all of these great nations and this region for what it's gone through and all of the fights it's had, or life over death and hope over strife and harmony over hatred. That's what we want. We want it to be that way because together we're going to forge a magnificent, great, and enduring peace. I want to just end by saying God bless you all. God bless the Middle East. God bless your countries, and God bless you. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
CBS News 24/7 listening in to the remarks of President Donald Trump, what has been declared widely all over planet Earth as a victory lap for him on this day, when 20 Israeli hostages have been released from the grips of terror group Hamas. They are now in hospital, having hugged their families, reunited with their families. And speaking of reunions, you are seeing a reunion of world leaders there, behind and in front of the President of the United States. Leaders from Italy, leaders from Canada, France, the UK, all in that room, as well as the major heavy hitter leaders from the Middle East. Now, that leadership right there is going to be key in the next steps, the next chapters in this very history-making time. So let's talk about that. CBS News contributor Robert Berger is joining us live now from Jerusalem. What is your take on where we go from here? I wanted to quote the Egyptian president who said, yesterday's rivals can be tomorrow's partners.
Well, we heard a lot of nice things. It's all very visionary and it's positive. You know, the 20 hostages returning alive today is something that a lot of people weren't sure that they were going to see. That's a big breakthrough. And to get all these world leaders there together there in Egypt, as we just saw with President Trump, the Europeans, the Muslim nations, the Arab states, all behind this plan is all very positive. So that's the good side. But, you know, implementing this on the ground, of course, has great challenges. And we'll have to see how it works out. I mean, just to name a couple of things, who's going to rule Gaza, this transition government, there's going to be an interim security force made up of Arab states. That's going to take a while to come together. Hamas, the big thing, Hamas has not agreed to disarm. So a lot of work ahead, but certainly a day of a lot of hope. But it's going to be difficult to implement all of this on the ground.
Hamas not agreeing to disarm, as you report there, but do you think that's the reason why we see this coalition of leaders from the Middle East? Because in the past, Hamas has lived and died because of the support of other nations. I'm thinking about Iran. And the president saying, look, we have no excuses now, given what's happened in the Middle East and other hotspots on the map, no excuses but success.
Yeah, I mean, the axis backing Iran has been severely weakened in this war, and that's what's enabling maybe better times to come. Israel defeated Hezbollah in Lebanon. They've decimated Hamas, got them to release the hostages before actually completely pulling out of Gaza, which took a long time to get that deal. You have Iran's nuclear program being decimated by Israel, and then the U.S. coming in later in that 12-day war. So the axis backing Iran has been weakened. However, Hamas is still there. I mean, we've seen them coming out of the areas that Israel has pulled out of. They have guns. They are a resistance movement. It's going to be, I really don't know how they're going to be able to disarm the group, dismantle the tunnels. There are 200 U.S. troops in Israel who are going to be overseeing this. And we'll have to see how it works out. But disarming Hamas is going to be a big obstacle.
First steps taken today, no doubt. From your vantage point, you'll be covering it for us for many weeks and months ahead. Robert Berger, so good to talk to you. Thank you so much. Also have the opportunity now to go to Egypt and talk to Nancy Cordes with the president traveling there. Okay, so what are your takeaways from what the president had to say there with all of those world leaders gathered behind him and in front of him?
One big takeaway, Reed, is that cash is key in this next phase. President Trump brought it up multiple times, the fact that some of his close friends who happen to be leaders in this region will have to put up enormous sums of cash to rebuild Gaza. We're talking about the United Arab Emirates, Qatar. He said that a number of them have already come forward to him to say that they want to contribute. And he said when they do, he is going to publicize it in front of the entire world, basically to incentivize other countries to put up the funds to rebuild Gaza and rebuild it quickly, because it is going to cost tens of billions of dollars to do so. Anyone who looks at the pictures of what Gaza looks like right now can understand why the price tag is so large. So that's one of the things they're talking about at this summit today, Reed. But there are a lot of details that still need to be hammered out, from the makeup of this international stabilization force that is supposed to keep the peace in Gaza in the near term, to who exactly Hamas fighters would hand their weapons over to and when.
Well, and to your point, cash is king, and any nation that lays down a lot of money in the billions of dollars, they're going to want to know what the return on investment is going to be to them. So to me, the big question is going to be who is going to take the lead and get the return on investment that they are expecting. Nancy Cordes, it's a fascinating time. We thank you so much for your time there from Egypt. All right, so let's bring in CBS News senior foreign correspondent Elizabeth Palmer live in London right now. So there is a summit that's about to happen. What's on the agenda?
Well, you saw the main photo op there, all the world leaders and President Trump announcing this very optimistic vision of the future in the Middle East. There's no question this is a red letter day, and the return of the hostages, the release of the Palestinian prisoners, a great step toward a more stable, immediate future. But have a look at who is on the stage there. You saw Europe, you saw Pakistan, powerful Arab leaders. You didn't see Israel. You didn't see Hamas, although the Palestinian leader, Mahmoud Abbas, is there. And you didn't see Iran. And that is a reminder of just how complicated the geopolitics of the region really are.
What are the chances, from your vantage point, of this 20-point plan succeeding? We have been here before where we've heard the phrase phase one and then phase two. We never got to phase two. Phase one appears to be done, but now phase two includes Hamas disarming. What's the confidence level from where you are and from those you're talking to?
Real skepticism. I mean, if wishing could power this, it would definitely happen. Everybody, I think everybody wants it, but there are enormous obstacles. So the dead hostages haven't been handed over yet. We have to assume that's going to go smoothly tomorrow. And the ceasefire could easily break down. Gaza is awash in weapons. The IDF is still in more than 50% of the territory. We still don't really know how the withdrawal is going to go. And all it takes is one gunfight that gets out of hand, and the whole thing sort of devolves into violent chaos again. So those are the immediate dangers. But probably the trickiest thing in the short to medium term is who is going to police this withdrawal and make sure that Hamas delivers its weapons when it finally does agree to disarm, and keeps order in the street, and then takes in these vast sums of cash that are supposed to be coming, and sets up the reconstruction plan, gets the building, the massive building projects going, gets the water restored. You know, this is a gargantuan mission, and we have disparate, not necessarily neighbors who see eye to eye, promising that they will get involved, but they haven't actually ponied up the manpower, and I expect it will be mostly men, or the money. So although the atmosphere in Sharm el-Sheikh is euphoric, I think that we're a long way from being able to relax and see this thing is going to succeed.
CBS News senior foreign correspondent Elizabeth Palmer, thank you so much for that. So let's continue going deeper on this conversation. Let's turn to CBS News Middle East reporter Courtney Kealy. What are your takeaways as we move into the next phase of the peace plan, Courtney? Because as we heard the president say, there are no excuses at this point.
Right, and he started the morning by saying the hostages are back home, and to paraphrase him, it's great to be able to say that. It was an ebullient president that addressed the Knesset, and a president who still has his energy addressing this consortium of world leaders, Arab leaders, Muslim leaders, thanking the Turkish president, thanking the Emir of Qatar, the Saudi crown prince. It's an incredible way that he's gone from Jerusalem and Tel Aviv into Egypt and Sharm el-Sheikh to do this. And that cannot be lost on anybody who's ever watched, and we all have over the years of peace deals gone by or disrupted or blown apart, literally. So Gaza has to be rebuilt. Right now, it's getting those trucks in. I've talked to people in Gaza today, a grandfather with his kids and his grandkids living in a tent. He just had to relocate from August. He's hoping next week to go back to Gaza City, and that will be an arduous journey. But he said he's already seeing some of the humanitarian aid come in. The lawlessness, all of that is going to have to happen. And if people say phase one, phase two, let's not get caught on the details, because that's what it was in the winter into the spring. This is a ceasefire or a peace deal or some sort of, just say, 20-point agreement revised by the Israelis and also used to really soothe the language in Arabic dialects. So while you say demilitarize Hamas, the Arabs prefer to say lay down arms. It's legitimate of laying down the arms. Even the way the words have been smoothed out or translated or transliterated has been to make sure that people all understand it across these languages of Abraham. So an ebullient president today, really some backdoor meetings in a resort in the Red Sea, the Four Seasons Resort. It was Witkoff and Kushner that went into that room, ushered in by Qatari and Turkish mediators, intelligence spy chiefs of Egypt and Turkey, walking them in, and they reassured the four negotiators of Hamas, including Khalil al-Hayya, who just narrowly escaped that assassination attempt on his life in early September, to shake hands and broker that 11th hour deal last Wednesday that got us to where we are today. And it's been a long time coming, just in these, within a week. It was a stunning turnaround, and there's no timetable necessarily, but now it's ceasefire. Now it's laying down arms, de-radicalization, and no support from key power brokers in the region like the Saudis or the Turks or the Qataris for Hamas. While it might live on an ideology or hot-headed, angry youth that still have access to guns, that is a wild west of a Gaza that we're going to see. It's not that big an area. So it's not a Herculean task of a vast country to restabilize. It's easily patrolled from air, sea, and land, which the Israelis do. We'll have to see what that international security force looks like moving in. There are tough days ahead, but it has been a new day that broke today.
A new day broke today, and we can go down the road of hammering out all of what happened and what will be yet to happen, but you have to think as the hammering happens that there's also the heartbeat of this story, and that is the release of those 20 hostages. And then also, Courtney, I think about the families of the 28 hostages who did not live to see this day, rest their memories, right? What will be next for the hostages and their families who have now experienced the joy of this release?
Well, some of the pictures are really extraordinary. The hugging of a father or a mother of their son. We also know the deep anguish and grief of some families that do not have answers yet. 4 remains of 4 hostages are being transferred from Gaza into an identification process and then being released so they can be buried, as what Trump said, in the sacred soil here. Now, what we're also looking at is their Palestinians are going to have to recover their dead, grieve in this almost open air graveyard that is Gaza. So much grief, so much trauma, glimmers of hope, And really this kind of all Arab Muslim leaders along with the Israeli leaders ready to do this. So much is fraught ahead, but it really was a day that we saw reunions, reunifications, happiness, tears of joy mixed with grief and sorrow, the kind of pathos, almost biblical kind of language we've seen and read about in the past. We saw it in real time today.
The Order of the Nile given to President Trump, as well as the Prize of Israel. What a day it has been. Courtney Kealy, thank you so much.